Hi, friends. Happy Wind Down Wednesday. I'm so glad you're here with us this evening. Find someplace cozy to sit and we will get started. Halloween is only in a few more days. On a calendar, count how many more days until October 31st. I'm excited to celebrate Halloween with you by doing a tradition at school. At our elementary school, it's a tradition to walk in a parade. Are there any other traditions that you and your family do to celebrate Halloween? This evening, we're going to read one of my very favorite books. When I was your age, I asked my grown-ups to read this story to me over and over and over again. The story is called Popcorn. It's a Frank Ash bear story. Popcorn. To Mark Allen Stamati. If we look at this tree, you can see there aren't any leaves left on it. That's a sign that tells us that we're going to read a story that takes place during which season? Do you think it's spring time, summer, fall, or winter? Why do you think that? My schema, my background knowledge tells me that this story is either going to be in winter or fall. We don't see leaves on most trees during those seasons. Let's read on to find out which season the story takes place in. One fall night. Oh, we now know that it's fall. Another word for fall is autumn. One fall night, Mama and Papa Bear went to a Halloween party and left Sam home alone. Take good care of the house and we'll bring you a present. Here's Sam. Point to the pumpkin on the page. We're going to do many pumpkin-related activities in class over the next few days. One tradition that some families do is dress up in costumes and sometimes go trick-or-treating or go to a party. So here's Sam. So he called up his friends and invited them to his house for his own Halloween party. While he waited for his friends to arrive, he made himself a costume. Here's a speech bubble. We saw speech bubbles in a book we read today about autumn. Do you remember what the chipmunk and the mouse were arguing about in the story? Yeah, who would be able to keep the acorn? Seeing acorns is also a sign of fall. We also see a mouse in this story. That's a text-to-text connection. Here we can see Sam dressed up as a Native American. Earlier in October, we learned about Native Americans and the traditions that they celebrate. It's important to learn about different groups of people. The first to arrive was Betty. "I brought some popcorn for the party," she said. Betty's holding a cauldron. In class, we're using our imagination and writing about what we would add to a witch's brew. Keep up the good work, thinking creatively. The second to arrive was Billy. He brought popcorn too. Who did Billy dress up as? A king. His popcorn container says royal popcorn. Betty's cauldron says black cat popcorn. Bernie, Bonnie, and Buster also brought popcorn. Hers says tiptoe popcorn. Oh, this one says space dust popcorn. This one says spooky tooth popcorn. This one says red hot popcorn. This one says walrus blubber popcorn. In fact, everyone brought popcorn. Look at this party. This reminds me of the 2 celebrations we had in class today while celebrating birthdays. The party was lots of fun. Look at all the popcorn over here. When Betty said, "Hey, let's pop all that popcorn," everyone thought it was a good idea. If you think it's a good idea, put your thumb up. If you think that there might be a problem that comes up, put your thumb in the middle. Problems in stories is what makes the story interesting. With some help from his friends, Sam lifted Mama Bear's great big kettle onto the kitchen stove. Point to the kettle. And poured in all the popcorn. He added some oil and salt and turned on the stove. Soon it began to pop. Pop, pop, pop. Those are sound words. We talked a little bit about those today. Another word for sound word is onomatopoeia. There was so much popcorn, it quickly filled the kettle and spilled out onto the floor. That reminds me of how my bucket is filled so many times throughout the day that it usually overflows. How do you think Sam's feeling about all of this popcorn? Do you think he looks happy and excited about all this popcorn, or is he feeling a little worried? What part of his body tells you how he's feeling? And you can look at his eyes, you can look at his lips. Those are clues. Pop, 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 pop. There was so much popcorn. It filled the whole kitchen. This is one of my favorite pages. It spilled out into the living room. It filled the rooms downstairs and crept upstairs. There was so much popcorn. It filled the whole house. Oh, I had to strive for accuracy there. I had to reread and make sure that I read it correctly. What happened? Help! Who turned out the lights? Did someone actually turn out the lights? Why is he asking that question that ends with a question mark? It's dark because they're surrounded by popcorn. Where did everybody go? Some party! Get me out of here! How would you feel if you were surrounded by popcorn? Did you feel excited, happy, nervous, confused? Everyone wanted to go home, but Sam said, "No, you've got to stay and help me get rid of all this popcorn or I'll be in big trouble." Munch, crunch, munch, crunch, munch, crunch, munch, gulp. All of these sound words tell us that they're eating the popcorn. They ate and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. They look like they're having fun. I see some smiles there. I wonder if they're going to still be having fun after eating for a while. Oh my, look at their faces. And ate and ate and ate and ate until all the popcorn was gone. Even the tiny little mouse. "I don't care if I ever see another piece of popcorn in my whole life," said Buster. "I feel like my stomach is going to burst," said Betty. "Mine too," said Bobby. Sam felt the sickest of all. He said good night to his friends and cleaned up. And went to bed. Later that night, Mama and Papa Bear came home. "Wake up," they said. "We brought you a present." "What is it?" asked Sam. In class, we've discussed how question sentences end with a question mark and our voice goes up at the end of reading them. "Popcorn," they replied. Let's see how he looks. How do you think he feels about hearing that popcorn is what they brought? Why do you think he feels that way? He was already surrounded by popcorn and eating popcorn all night long. That he's not interested in having any more. I loved reading this story with you, and I can't wait to celebrate Halloween with you at school. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.